question. I think I'll answer it in the reverse. How did we come across it? Well, we were clearing out the warehouse to put some more samples for the drilling that will start at Barrambie next month. And we came across a couple of boxes of information, and they had cross sections with 1 meter assays for 61 drill holes that were missing from our database. We knew where the collars of the holes were, but we were missing the assays. The holes were drilled in 1988. And so, I think combined, the original data we got from WAMEX, and then we've recently found the individual 1 meter assays. So, I think the drilling has showed some spectacular shallow, high grade intercepts and some broader lower range. I think, in support of our interpretation from the last diamond drilling, in certain orientations, we have, a couple of meters of double digit grades. And then what we're finding is we've got broader, lower grade stockwork. So, in this round, 3 meters at sort of 95 from 20, 17 meters at 6.5 from 23, 17 at 4.4 from 33. There's some pretty spectacular intersections. Recently settled the sale of our battery recycling business. We received just under $9 million upfront, and we retain an index $12.5 million share of revenue going forward from Primobius plant sales. This strengthens the balance sheet. It removes the working capital requirement that we would have had to put in had we remained shareholders. The funding now we can direct into a staged exploration program at Barrambie. We're looking at infill and step out drilling now at Ironclad and Mystery. The first cab off the rank is going to be Barrambie Ranges, which is the major historic producer in the Barrambie area. We received Aboriginal heritage clearance to drill there in July. And we're very excited to get on the ground and essentially to define more resources at Barrambie, and we can ensure that the capital is applied where we think we can create the highest value for shareholders. In short, yes. We have developed underground and open pit gold operations in our past, and certainly Barrambie, we're examining the options for the development. Cash flow is central to our strategy. So our immediate focus is to validate and extend the mineralized footprint at Barrambie. We don't have to find gold. We know that there's gold there. What we need to do is to define resources and to advance those through the evaluation process. We would look at small standalone open pits and to realize value from either an ore sale or toll treatment. Now, we would look at sort of two cases: what it'd look like to do that ourselves, and also what it'd look like to do under a production joint venture. We see quite a lot of juniors have had success with nice little open pits. They sit down with a smaller sort of mining contractor who wears the upfront capital. Once they recover their costs, they generally split the revenue. I think in keeping with a capital light, disciplined, high margin focus over scale, Barrambie's fantastically located. We have, 5 mills within a 150-kilometre radius. So we don't have that sort of issue that a lot of guys have, is that I need to get scale to justify our pit. I think we can just go through, really evaluate which ones will return us the best return on a risk basis, And, it's a really large project. It's 500 square kilometers covering sort of more than 40 strike kilometers of a greenstone belt, right? That is extremely large. That is almost the distance between Kalgoorlie and Kambalda. So, we don't have to knock it out of the park with the first one. We can go into something smaller, get cash, and then accelerate the development of the rest of the project. Yeah, I mean, look, in a nutshell, we're sort of returning to our golden roots while building value with the technology portfolio.